I sound ill again. I cannot believe it. Do I sound?
You do. I was going to say you do sound a bit ill. Yeah.
I am sick again.
What do you do?
Where'd
you go?
Went to London and just licked everything. We just gotten back from a weekend away in London, which is why I'm ill. Obviously, can't go anywhere without getting sick.
Yeah,
and it was really packed. But we had like this was the last and final birthday thing. It's been dragged out for so long. But we went out for like some nice meals and stuff, and I posted some of the cocktails to Twitter, which I think you all saw. And
I saw. They looked very cool.
Laura's one was awesome. It's literally like a tub of popcorn, but it had the secret drink at the bottom that was also popcorn flavored. It's so good.
Was it like 60% popcorn, 40% like a little drip at the bottom?
No, it was actually like most cocktails. It's like 80% ice. Which I get it.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, it's how cocktails are. But it's like, oh my god, is that all popcorn? Is it all drink? Oh my god, no, it's just ice. But we went to I can't remember what the bar was called, but it had an upstairs bit, and the cocktail bit was secret downstairs, and you had to walk in and say, I think it was like, I'm here to meet the mayor. And you'd say that to the person on the door. And we were with Laura's sort of dad and partner, and they told us how it all works. And we were like, is this true? Are we about to get trolled? They're going to be like, what are you talking about? But we go in, we say that, and then all illusion is like kind of immediately broken when they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you got a reservation. It's like, oh, okay, not very secret, but okay, that'll do. And then we walked into this like restaurant, and there's a fridge, and it's just like, decor, but they open the fridge and it all kind of like mists a little bit, and you go inside, and then it's like a whole staircase that goes down. It was this like really swanky cocktail bar. It was so good.
That's really cool.
And then that's where we were. We had those cocktails, and the cocktails are like 15, 20 quid a drink.
That's how they get you.
It's like, well, I can't leave now after that entrance. You have to have drinks.
Yeah, you can't be like, no, a bit pricey for me. I'm gonna head off. Yeah.
that was really, really fun. Yeah.
That reminds me, I did actually back when I was living in Southampton, we went to a Belgian like bar, and it was after work, and a bunch of us went over there, and there was one guy with us who literally, he went down, he looked at the prices, and he was like, nope, I'm good, I'll catch you guys tomorrow.
I would do the same. I ain't ordering from a place that's too expensive.
It was like, it's part of the experience, right? Like,
yeah, definitely.
You have a couple of drinks, and you're like, oh yeah, 1 or 2 rounds will do. That's like most of the budget for the evening anyway. So.
Yeah.
Been on such a cocktail binge though recently. Like
alcoholic?
I guess so. Yeah, not like through volume. Just feel like, oh, I want to make this. I want to make that. I want to do this. Have any of you like?
I want to do that.
Yeah. Have any of you ever like made a bunch of cocktails?
Nope, never.
They're really
I only started recently drinking, so
I went through a phase of making tequila sunrises when I was in college because I thought it made me look cultured.
Instead, it's the most like simple tequila cocktail I think you can make.
Yeah, it is.
Just pour a few things in a glass, and it does look swanky though.
It's like the easiest, most effort effective way you can make a cocktail. Yeah.
Anything that like changes color halfway through the drink, it's like, oh my god, that's not a pint of Foster's.
Does Pimm's count? I like a good Pimm's.
Pimm's does count. You have to cut some fruit and veg.
Yeah. What about toilet hooch? Does that count?
What?
Do you make
toilet
that?
Hooch? Yeah.
Toilet
if you're in
hooch?
prison. Yeah.
I haven't been to
I meant
prison
you
recently.
Specifically. Steve, do you make toilet hooch?
Yeah, at home. I just, delicious.
Is it legal? Doesn't sound like a legal drink.
No, I think it's more like in prison they might make cocktails in their toilets.
How is prison these days, Steve?
I wouldn't know.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Let's get this show on the road.
I knew it.
Before we get like Steve in prison again.
I've never been to prison.
He's always in horny jail.
Yeah, he can't,
horny jail, yes.
Yeah, he can't help
prison,
it.
No.
Welcome back for another week. I'm a little bit sick, so I'm going to nasally push through this. I do apologise. My name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks. I'm here with the usual gang, with Olive Meister Will.
Hello, my name is Olive Meister and all Will. It's September. Why is it still so damn hot?
I know, we're with Steve, Quikwix.
Hi, Steve here, and it would be lovely if you would Pokemon go to the comment section of this YouTube video and say something nice about someone on this podcast, or leave a like or thumbs up or whatever on any of the other podcasting platforms.
Nice. And Sammeh.
Yeah, I'm still Sam.
Still Sam.
Still
One
Sam.
day it's going to
Weirdly
change.
wholesome.
One day. No, never change, Sam. Never change. I don't want you to change. I'm gonna jump.
Sure.
I'm gonna jump straight into my game, whilst it's still fresh on my brain. I played Steve's recommendation from the last podcast.
That you turned your nose up at.
I did
might
turn my
I
nose up.
add.
I'm so sorry. It's kind of weird because it came out almost immediately after the show went live, I think, last week, and I played it, and
Yeah.
it's really short. So it's my weekly game, but also it feels really far away because it was like
Yeah,
a week
yeah.
ago.
You did it.
Yeah, I played Tinykin, which is on Xbox Game Pass, and it's on Steam. This game is... So what did you sell it as, Steve? You said it was like
It's
a Pikmin.
Pikmin,
game.
like-
Pikmin, right? It's Pikmin.
Yeah.
It's basically Pikmin.
So it's almost nothing to do with Pikmin in like gameplay. There's like aesthetically, you could say you have all these little dudes, right?
And you throw them at things. It's Pikmin.
No, okay. I'm gonna. The main thing that connects it with Pikmin, obviously, is the fact that you have these dudes that like encompass you, and
Mhm.
you tell them to do the odd thing. You don't really tell them to do things, but they do certain things based on which one they are, and that's it. Pikmin.
like Pikmin.
So Pikmin is a. Will back me up with this because he's played Pikmin 3 recently. Pikmin is a strategy game. It's a puzzle strategy game, almost
yeah, it's like
a
baby's first RTS.
Yeah, like baby's first RTS. This game, Tinykin, has no combat. There's no combat in this game whatsoever. This game, whereas Pikmin is a puzzle strategy or puzzle RTS,
Mhm.
this is a puzzle platformer. With emphasis
okay.
on platformer because it's 90% platforming. There's next to no puzzles really. I'll start off by saying I loved this game. I thought this game was really, really good. Even though it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, it still ended up being great. The difference is the Pikmin, whereas Pikmin you have like you go around and you fight things and you can separate your Pikmin into different groups, so you use certain ones. There's none of that in this. You start each level with none of them. You have
Mhm.
no Tinykin. And they're in like little eggs around the level. You can see in this picture here, for anyone that's watching, if I make this a bit bigger. Over here, look. There's like little pods around
They're
the level.
Dragon Balls.
They're basically like little like dragon eggs. And just by touching one, it adds that Tinykin to your character. And
Right. Okay.
there's 5 different kinds, but it introduces one more per level you go in, just to not overcomplicate it. And you don't lose them, essentially. So they can't die. You can't leave them somewhere in the map and lose them. They are a part of you. And the idea is that most of them, what they do is they enhance your platforming in some way. So you can see, let's find a screenshot of some of the other ones. There's little green ones. We talked about the ones that are always flexing, like in this picture here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have, it's platformer, you can jump, but with these ones, as you collect these ones, you can stack them up like a pole and then climb that pole. So what that basically does is by doing that, it increases your maximum jump height because you can suddenly get a little bit higher because you can make a
Right.
pole
Okay.
and climb them. And it's a really good kind of flow in the game in that you start a level with none of these. And you can see in this picture here, the levels are absolutely enormous. You start with none, and you'll see like certain obstacles where it's like, okay, I can't climb that yet, it's too high, or I can't get over there because I can't make a bridge yet with the other Tinykin. And as you sort of explore and gather more of them, it lets you push further and further out into the level because suddenly you can jump a little bit higher because you can, make a pole out of them and bits like that. And
Yeah.
and ultimately, the ultimate goal of each level is it's a collectathon. So if you think of like Banjo-Kazooie or... Yeah, I guess just like Banjo-Kazooie or Mario, something like that. The idea is to go around and just collect everything, culminating in one item per level that's like the level complete item that you have to find. And then that's level complete.
So, question:
yeah.
Would you this game or Pikmin 3? Which would you, if you only had to pick one?
Well, if I had to pick one, I love Pikmin. I would always take Pikmin.
I just wanted to get a check of if this game was this is so much better than Pikmin, or
no, it stands. It still stands as of right now that there is still nothing like Pikmin in my brain. It's like I went into this thinking, oh, okay, finally a game that's like Pikmin.
Josh. Yeah. No one wants to make a Pikmin game for a reason.
Because they don't fucking sell. That's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the key thing that saves this game is the character controller, or the way your character moves around. It's just fantastic to play. It's just everything is snappy. It feels really good. It was in that picture before. You have a little bar of soap that you can use almost as like a skateboard or a snowboard, I guess. And you can grind on everything. Like a rail.
That's cool.
And so
that's very cool.
Yeah, you can get crazy speed and jump around, and it's just really fun to play.
You were streaming this game in my Discord, and you had quite a few people watching, and the movement did look very fun. I'd say moving from point A to point B did look satisfying. Yeah, it is fantastic. I think there's an old Nintendo thing from a long time ago, which was Miyamoto saying in an interview that when they make a new Mario game, the first thing they do before doing any level design or any sort of major design, they just create Mario and stick him in a room with some boxes and iterate on how he feels to move, because fundamentally that's the basis of the game, right? If it sucks to control them, then Balan Wonderworld could have done that. They should have done that.
Well, there's so many games where it's like you say Balan or Ukulele, where they just have problems where it's it's just little things that are really obvious to fix. Why are these here?
Doesn't feel good. Yeah.
But yeah, highly recommend this game. It's £20 on Steam, which it's a bit of an ask considering its length, because it took me about 5 hours to finish. There's lots of people.
It's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass. Yeah, if you have Game Pass, then it's an absolute no-brainer, because I love this game. But yeah, it might be a bit steep for that duration. But then again, I've kind of worked out, because I've played so many of these types of games, I finish these quite quickly. Like pro gamer, BottlerWorks. I'm just built different.
Yeah. You just yeah.
So yeah, people are saying it's 7 to 8 hours. But there's the one gripe I have with it is that every level has literally thousands of. You can see it in this picture here. It's called pollen. These little gold collectibles, and there's thousands of them, and it doesn't tell you which ones you've missed.
Oh no!
So I was hoping that when I finished the game, it would be okay, you've gotten 98% of all of them. Here's just where the last
Here's where
ones
you're
are.
missing. Yeah.
And it didn't. And I was like, I'm not going to scour these whole levels.
I kind of like that though. It doesn't tell you.
Oh, so what they do?
If there's thousands and you're missing 4, I'm not going to go through the entire levels, the entire game. For 4 collectibles.
The good thing about it is that they are collecting these are locked to a few abilities in the game, like gliding further. But those abilities are locked behind around typically 80% collection, which is fine because you'll get that just by playing.
Oh, so this is purely for achievement.
This is achievement hunting, and
right. Okay.
And like I said, I got 5 hours in, and I wanted to achievement hunt. I wanted to get that 100%.
Yeah,
but I was not doing. I was not doing that.
Yeah.
Because they're hidden everywhere, and the levels are enormous. One last little thing I'll say is I said about how the levels are enormous. The whole theme of the game is you're tiny, and that sounds.
And I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, it's there is story to the game, but don't worry about it. It's kind of irrelevant. But the sense of scale and everything in this game, they do an amazing job. You really feel like you're like a centimeter tall.
I really like the art.
It's really good.
Style.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's 2D. So all the character assets are 2D, and they're always facing the camera, and everything else is 3D, and it just works really well. It looks really good.
I am not a big fan of that type of
I think it looks a lot better in motion than it does in pictures.
It's always like you turn your camera and it's like, you turn to move left to right and your like character flips, don't they? Or like the actual model. I'm not sure.
No, I think if you're standing still and you spin the camera, then it can look a bit weird because they always face the camera, right?
Yeah.
But in actual gameplay, when you're running around and you're skateboarding and jumping, and it works. It looks really good.
I'm just not a huge fan of that. I'm like, oh no, give me full round 3D models if you're going to do a 3D world.
Oh no, not. I think 3D models as the characters in this would be a detriment because they clearly have an art style with their characters. Yeah, that just works really well in like 2D. So, but yeah, that's all I'll say. It's on Game Pass.
Nice. I'm gonna go play this later.
You should play this. I think even if you're just like slightly interested, as I said, it's like 4 hours long to finish. That's not even a massive commitment. It came out and I think I finished it the following day. I had one bug, which was kind of annoying, where my game kept crashing, but I fixed that somehow. Maybe that'll be fixed by now it's been a week. But yeah, really, really good. So definitely check it out. We'll jump straight from my game. We'll go with you, Steve. What have you been playing this week, Steve?
Oh, sorry to bring the mood down, but I've been playing League of Legends Wild Rift.
Oh, no. Oh, Wild Rift specifically.
Well, I have also been playing normal League of Legends. I've been doing a little bit of ARAM. So I want to talk about the comparisons.
Okay, I'm actually interested because I don't know the main differences. This will be good.
Okay. The first thing when Wild Rift is the mobile version of League of Legends. It is only on mobile. It's not on consoles yet, which is surprising.
Yeah.
But the main thing is the difference is that when you see it looks much better than the PC game for a mobile game.
Oh, you're at the point now where you've just got a new mobile, right?
Yes.
And when I first got my new mobile and started downloading some stuff, I was like, oh my god, mobile games look amazing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like every single character, every single skin has a custom menu animation that looks so cool. The models in the game look so much better than the PC League of Legends.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I have played a little bit of Wild Rift in the past on my tablet before it stopped working. And Wild Rift to me had that feel of League of Legends when it was new, where it's like no one really knew what they were doing, so it was kind of like you could just go in and kind of have fun, and it was like a fun time. And I was like, the other day, this is going to sound bad. I was not having a good night, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play a little bit of League of Legends Wild Rift.
That's a terrible idea.
Go in, and literally, one difference is that in League of Legends in draft pick, you kind of pick your main role and then side role. In Wild Rift, you have every role there, and you pick like the order that you'd like them to be. So you pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I picked mid mage. I did that. When you load into the game, it has arrows pointing to your lane, being like, "Okay, you picked mid mage. You picked a mid. Go there." And my first match, someone lost their lane and came to my lane, and that was like, that's annoying, but that's fine. Managed. The next match, someone picked support. They picked support Vigar, and they didn't go to bot support. No, they just went straight to mid, and I was like trying to type, being like, on my mobile, being like, please leave my lane, and it wasn't going through. It wasn't working, and it was just like, And I was in a bad. This is gonna make me sound real bad. This is the only time I've ever done this. I was in a foul mood, so I was just like, I'm feeding. I literally ran it down mid,
just leave,
dead the lane, and then disconnected. And the next day, I was like, okay, that was silly of me. I logged on expecting punishment.
You are banned.
No. We apparently had won that match, and I got praised by my team.
What the fuck?
What a mess.
Sure, I ran it down, fed like the enemy Lux 5 kills, and then disconnected, and my teammates gave me plus thumbs up.
Oh, this sounds just like what mobile gaming is in general.
Okay, is it bots?
I don't think so. No, because bots would have gone to the lanes. There's
That's
literally
true.
arrows
That's true.
pointing to the correct lanes.
I mean the enemy team.
Maybe. I don't think so.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, maybe.
That's what.
They have names, so I'm not sure. But it was.
You can't tell anymore, can you? That's the problem.
But yeah, it's a weird one, seeing that the mobile version seems to have so much. Like the mobile version has like more achievements. You can display your achievements. Everything seems to be. The mobile version is so much more polished. I'm just like, why can't that be in there for proper League of Legends?
Okay, so here's my thoughts towards that. I've always how old is League of Legends now? Right, it's like 2004 or something stupid.
Yeah.
This, and obviously with that you have like spaghetti code of just layer upon layer of just more stuff being added. From what I've heard from people, Wild Rift just kind of feels like there's a lot of stuff in it where it's like if they made League of Legends today, brand new, this is what it would have.
You should do that though. Then having a mobile game outshine your main game is like, come on.
I don't think a lot of it's probably not important, right? It's not essential.
Yeah, but it makes it seem like so much more polished and interesting. Like they have like
It's odd, yeah.
So,
Is it feature parity? Do they have all the characters and?
They don't have all the
stuff?
characters. They have like
right.
a small handful compared, but they keep adding them at like quite a good pace. Like because I was before just getting all the Twitch drops, so I logged on and had like, oh, I've got a bunch of free characters, a bunch of free skins, and a bunch of like other stuff. I will say, gameplay wise, it's very simple. It's like auto targeting for a lot of it, and it
has to be
good on
it
mobile.
has to be for mobile.
I am honestly surprised they have not put this on Switch or at least PlayStation.
Well, there's League of Legends is coming to console, right? Just not Wild Rift, I think. What was the we watched a game show where they said a whole bunch of Riot stuff was coming to console.
Game Pass.
Into Game Pass, yeah. I don't know if it's coming to.
Was it console? Hang on, let's have a quick look. You keep talking while I have a look.
But yeah, it's like it feels good to play, and I've also been playing a little bit of ARAM. It's been like a bit of a quiet week because I've been playing some Destiny, re-downloading Destiny because apparently people are doing stuff on Thursday. But yeah, it's nice. Been nice playing League, but again, I immediately had the big problem of League is your teammates. I think the only way you can really enjoy League of Legends is if you have 4 teammates who kind of are on the same page as you. Like they want to sweat or be as casual about the same amount as you, and like they'll communicate as much as you communicate and stuff, which is very, very hard to find. So it's very hard to actually enjoy League. That's why people bemoan it a lot of the time.
The only winning move, Steve, is not to play.
Is not to play.
I've been enjoying doing a little bit of ARAM with people though. That is fun.
I've always said about League of Legends and Riot in general is that I love everything Riot does because I love their art style. I love the characters they create. I love the stories. I just hate League of Legends.
League of Legends is a fun game. As I said, it's just literally you need to find a team of people who are like exactly on the same page as you, and that is so difficult because you've always got that one friend who's like either not so good or they rage a bit too much, and usually I'm not a rager, but I was just like bad mood that one night, and I've never done that before. But I was like, no, in this shitty mobile game. Why are you coming to my lane?
I crossed like I think in a few streams and on Discord I've publicly said that I don't like League of Legends at all. I'm not like a blind hater. I've put my hours in. I have like 1,000 hours of League or something from uni. Which is
is it like I hate League, or is it you just done with League?
But it's like my brain now just operates in clickbait. So I hate.
Oh no, I feel that.
It's like you say. I'm done with League of Legends, but it's more interesting to say I hate League.
League of Legends caused my divorce.
Yeah.
So I mean, the best thing that ever happened to Riot, in my opinion, is the fact they now do TV shows and fighting games and all that stuff.
It's a bit more games that don't necessarily rely on teammates. Like Runeterra, fantastic for a card game. Valorant is okay for a Counter-Strike clone. What other games do they do? Teamfight Tactics. Teamfight Tactics is good.
That's kind of it. They got other projects coming
Apparently
out.
the new
but...
season coming out is looking really, or the mid-season patch or something is looking really good for Teamfight Tactics. I might give that a little check out.
What are those games called? What's the genre?
Auto Battlers.
Auto Battler. I feel like they came out and they were enormous for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then people were like, this is the shit. This is it going forward. And then they just kind of vanished.
They're still about, but it's kind of like, for the strategy people.
Yeah.
It's like competitive card games, but it's like almost like a battle royale. It's just like, oh, you're not just 1v1ing hardcore strategy. It's like, oh, it's 8 people, so it's going to be different every single time, hopefully.
But it was like the Valve one, and
yeah, Underlords.
Yeah, that
which
was
I liked. I liked that better than the League one, and then they just dropped it.
Yeah,
like
it was
a sack of potatoes.
It was this weird thing of like the League one was so much more random, so it had that fun bit because like you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but it was so much easier to strategize than the Dota one and actually feel like that you're making meaningful decisions.
Yeah.
But hey,
they never click with me. Those games, I think there was a period of time where
they're good chill out games.
Yeah, everyone was playing it at one point, I think. In our friend group, and I was just like, I don't like this.
I feel like there was a period where they did the double up mode where they were like, oh, that would be really fun to play. And then it was like, oh, the double up mode you can only queue as 2. You can't queue as like a full pre-made team of 8.
Yeah.
Like just fight each other, which was a shame.
Yeah. Do you think you'll play more Wild Rift?
I have it downloaded still. Probably not, because I'm like, it just
at one game really ruined it for you.
It brought out all the memories of the bad things about League. It's like people, I hate it when people like, I'm pinging if my lane's missing. Why are people not pinging if their lane's missing?
Oh my god, Steve, the little League rager! I had no idea.
Oh no, yeah, League definitely for sure. That's I'm in Hunt.
It really brings out the worst in people.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah,
League somehow. Something about that game.
Because it's like in League of Legends, you can be perfectly in your lane, but if your teammates all fail, then they bring their stuff and then they bring their failures to your lane, and then they blame you because they're like,
your failures away from me.
Exactly.
That is what ultimately killed League for me. Was like I would come off of a 50-minute game. Just mad as hell at everything, and I'd be like, "Why am I doing this to myself?"
Or
like, you just locked in for like an hour.
You couldn't surrender until 20 minutes in, and 2 of your teammates would go 0-5 about 90 seconds in, and you'd be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm now stuck here for another 20 minutes at least." Because I say at least because your team will be down like 25 kills 20 minutes in, and 2 of them will still decide to not surrender for some reason. It's like, just let me stop playing.
Why am I being held hostage by these 4 people I've never met before?
And if I leave, I'm banned.
Yeah.
I hate League of Legends.
I'm getting mad just talking about it, just remembering all that stuff.
Again, that's the thing is, it's all like you need like a team who's like on the same level, and you can't get that these days.
Yeah, I'm not playing with you, by the way. I'm not playing League. I'll play anything with you, Steve. I'm not playing League though.
Oh, he said anything. You heard that, people. I'm playing Temtem on Wednesday. Oh, he said he'd play anything with me.
There's a list of games that I won't play, and it's 2 games long, and it's League of Legends and Temtem.
I think Temtem's worth the go.
I passed Steve. Apparently backed Temtem and picked Switch, and then I must have bought the game again on PC.
The ultimate Temtem shill.
So I got a Switch key in my email. I was like, "Oh, thank you, Past Stephen. I'm gonna stream that on Wednesday."
So,
but yeah, that's what I've been playing. Misery,
pain,
despair.
Oh, that's really funny. All right, then, Will, what have you been playing?
I really have not been playing anything this week. I've been over the last couple of weeks, I talked about Genshin, I talked about Destiny, and they just took up so much of my spare time that this week I was like, I need to do work. I can't I can't put down streaming for the day and then go and play Destiny for like 9 hours every night.
I mean, you can.
It's stupid. It's like it's going to ruin my life if I don't keep a lid on it. That said, I have been playing a bit of Destiny. I started up their new season. Season of Plunder, which is all pirate themed, and it's just fun. I don't know. I think it's like a sickness. I
was going to say it's dangerous. Getting into game number.
I know
up.
It's bad for me. I know the number going up means nothing, but I go and I boot it up, and the game's like, "Hey, you want to fuck around and earn this little SMG that you'll forget about next week?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sign me up, Destiny."
You want to make number get slightly bigger?
Oh, it shoots lightning? Fuck yeah, I'm in. Like,
you've got to be careful, Will, because you've actually encouraged quite a few people, I think more than 6, to play. So
yeah, but I just want to do the raids with a little.
No, yeah, I've been saying how we've been talking about like where we have like a community. It'd be nice if we could all play an MMO, and Destiny is like a good first step. And then hopefully the next time a big MMO comes out, maybe we could all.
I made my whole community take crack.
A June game.
Yeah, we're getting like weirdly culty now. I just want to do the Destiny raid with some people that I like.
You made a guild. You made a clan.
I'm an influencer. I influence people to take crack.
Yeah.
You should see if you can get Destiny to give you like an influencer code or something.
Is that a real thing?
Like get 10% off Witch Queen code.
Yeah, Olive. I bet Datto doesn't pay for his own Destiny expansions at this point.
Exactly.
See if I get on that Bungie gravy train.
I also feel like the number of Destiny influencers is probably magnitudes higher than influencers that play Hunt and indie games.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a whole different it's like the shark pool, Yeah, this is fun. It's nice to see them hit a kind of. We were talking about it today with the Witch Queen campaign that I played through, and now this. It finally feels like there's cutscenes in this season. You'll boot up and you'll do a little cut, and it's like I can't believe it's taken them 8 years, I think, since Destiny 1, and I'm like, wow, a cutscene. Oh, good stuff, Bungie.
Now it's like they made story.
Exactly. They made Halo 1 to Reach, and it's like every one. I just enjoyed the campaign all the way through, and it's insane to me that we're just now getting to the point where I'm like, you could play the campaign in Destiny, but now the problem is you can't just play that campaign. You won't understand anything. So it's like you have to play the garbage first, and also that's not in the game, so you can't. So yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm playing a little bit of Destiny, and I'm just skipping all the story. I'm like, I did not play Destiny 1. This is all confusing. Let me just shoot things, please.
Yeah, make sure if you want to understand if you want to understand the full story, you have to read all the light novels and collect all the McDonald's toys from a few years back.
Yeah, pretty
McDonald's
much.
toys?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But look at the arm. Look at that stuff on the screen. Isn't that cool? Don't you like?
He's a cool.
That's cool armor.
That's cool. The one on the right looks a bit odd. I'm not too sure about that.
You know why I like it though? Is because other than the one on the right, they don't look like Destiny armors.
That's the thing. There's so much of it in the game now. Everything looks. You'll boot up an activity and there'll be like a Power Ranger there. And I'm like, okay, I guess they're in the game now. That's cool.
The Marvel crossover.
Yeah, season's pretty fun. It's like pirate themed, so the whole thing is like you boarding other spaceships and taking their stuff, and it's neat. It's pretty neat. I like it.
Wasn't there was a Fortnite crossover recently, wasn't there?
Yeah, there is. You can buy Fortnite crossover skins for your.
Yeah,
there was a whole game mode, wasn't there, as well?
I don't know. That was a game mode.
Can you be Jonesy in Destiny? Because I know that in Fortnite there are Destiny skins.
You can be.
There might have been a game mode in Fortnite. I don't think there
was.
No.
In Destiny, I am 100%.
I mean, I don't play Destiny.
I have seen clips of in Destiny them having like it's Destiny games mode, but with Fortnite guns and inventory style.
Are you sure that's not just Fortnite?
Yeah, because there is
because they also put Destiny stuff in Fortnite.
So on the screen now, this is the Fortnite stuff.
What I'm saying is the game mode was the Destiny 2 PvP was the stuff I was watching.
I fucking God knows then. All I know,
I don't think so. They're having trouble enough putting their own content in without making content.
I was under the assumption that if you see the screen now, this is Destiny 2 content that looks like Fortnite, and then in Fortnite there is this. This is Destiny stuff in Fortnite. So they're both doing each other's skins, and I think that's where it stopped. They can't have their own game mode at least in Fortnite because they're too busy doing Dragon Ball.
No, Dragon Ball's over now.
Yeah, but this came out around the same time as the Dragon Ball stuff.
Yeah. I think he's right. Yeah.
So I can't say yes or no to Sam because I know nothing about Destiny.
All I know is from the clips I saw, and I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
Well, it's like it's just
so
we're just in the world of
I'm
crossovers
looking
now.
for it, mate.
Yeah, if you can find it.
Yeah, I maybe you could be right. I didn't see any of that, and I think I was playing around that time.
I like how they put the Black Knight skin in Destiny 2. I think I have that one. It was like the very first battle.
Skin.
It was the very first battle pass they ever did.
Yeah.
And
now you can be it in Destiny too.
Oh, cool!
It's very exciting. I think that's the biggest problem. I keep saying that. The biggest problem with Destiny but it's like a game where ultimately it's like you chase cool stuff, right? But like half the cool stuff in Destiny now is just buy it. You know? It's disappointing.
I mean, that's the but that's the end point of these games as a service, right? It's just not necessarily lure you in, but they're a lot more generous at the start than they are towards the end.
I had a great. I was watching a review the other day, and they said like Destiny is like they hit every single way of monetizing their game, all the buzzwords, and they just get away with it because everyone's fine with it. Weirdly, in Destiny, you know, like
I found it.
Okay, all right. Sam's found it. Okay,
right, link it.
No, so it's just a website to confirm what the crossover was. So it was in Fortnite. They made a control game mode based on the Crucible map Javelin 4. They just for the event. They just went, by the way, go play Control, well as just having a battle royale. And they're like, so Fortnite did the work.
Yeah, I think. So Fortnite is at the point now where the creative mode, you can just literally make anything.
Yeah,
it's almost like like how Minecraft mods or Roblox game modes, just like you can do anything. You can now do that with Fortnite. I've played games of Fortnite where it was like people sliding down hills, collecting coins.
I'll touch on this as well when I speak about my game.
Okay,
because I think that heavily leans into what I've been doing.
I've been playing Fortnite. Yeah, I don't have anything more to say.
Sam's been playing Roblox.
I'm grinding my little heart out in Destiny. I'm making the number go up. It's very exciting.
Has it got legs?
Okay. I mean, I'm going to stick around.
Yeah.
I bought the season pass. It was only £8. Yeah.
That's how they get you. Only £8.
Okay, there's one really annoying thing I want to call Bungie out on my very public platform. During the free week for Destiny, I played through the entire Witch Queen campaign expansion.
Yeah.
And in doing that, I unlocked this cool SMG which fires little homing rounds, and it's such a cool gun. It's great when you shoot, and it's like a needler, except it's poison instead. And then if you get enough, they explode, and everything around them is poisoned as well. And it feels so awesome to use. But it's part of this new thing they've got where you can level up guns and apply different modifiers to them. So instead of like randomly rolling a gun, you can from scratch say, I want this perk and this perk and this perk.
Yeah,
and it's cool. It's really good. But there's like a special perk you get for leveling it up enough. And I did that, grinded my little heart out, played with this SMG for ages. I mean, it wasn't a chore. It's a great gun. But then I went back and I was like, I've done it. I finished the gun, boss. I'm ready to go. And it was like, no, we need the expansion to do that, to put that modifier on the gun.
Oh,
so to complete this gun, I need to drop money on a £20, £40 expansion. I've done the campaign. I've done everything I want to do with it, and I'm like, I am not paying just to but now it's sat in my inventory, and it's like a little sad reminder every time I open my inventory. I can never finish it. Yeah, and I don't want to get rid of it. Oh,
that's like in other games where you have half finished battle passes that you can't go back and finish. It's like, and
there's like a record of it. Yeah.
It's like
oh my god, it sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, it's like, personally, I'm not too bothered, but with the new like hunt event and the battle pass there, when this finishes, more than likely I'm forever going to have like the half completed skin of that guy's character. I'll have tier 1 and tier 2,
and that's it.
And that's it. And what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that's something that Fortnite does well, is that if you get a skin in the battle pass, it upgrades on its own. So you can get like you can finish it off usually. You don't.
Yeah,
like,
but there
have
are
half a skin
different
done.
styles, aren't there, which you can't get. So
Maybe I don't know, but I remember like
I'm not sure.
before I quit Fortnite like a while ago, I did buy one of the battle passes, and I came back and it's like, oh, it just gave me all the different variations of it for free.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
like as much
Quite
shit
nice.
as Fortnite gets, it is still, in my opinion, the shining example of the at least the best way to do a battle pass.
Best way to do free to play.
Best way, yeah, full stop, yeah. That's it's a whole other conversation.
Well, the only thing is, I mean, we'll talk about it later, but Halo has the thing where you can always finish your pass once you buy it, which I think all games should do at this point.
Halo's battle
Yeah.
pass is not good in any other way. It's like
Shame the
worst
game's
in
shit.
every way. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as Will said, we will definitely get onto that. I got a lot to say about that. Any wrap ups for Destiny, or are you done?
No,
Cool.
no, it's still one of the most fun shooters, just in terms of like purely playing the game.
Yeah.
I think it's so satisfying to run around in that game and shoot things, and I just wish it was easier to get to rope other people in.
Destiny's weird because it came out and I played it for a bit. Destiny 2, I mean. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm done. And then it's just always been there in the background, just adding content and doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I just haven't been aware of it at all.
And it's like, if they just stopped taking things out, there would be so much stuff in that game right now
Well,
for you to I
they've
could
said
pay,
they're not
let's
doing
go
that
and do
anymore,
that.
right?
Yeah, but like their seasons are still going to be going on, so their seasonal stuff is still going to change. Like there's an area I was exploring the other night, which is the very first raid we did that on that spaceship,
Yeah.
and it was all like it's like a palace. They've made that into a patrol zone, which is cool because it's like, oh, cool, reusing stuff that has been taken out of the game. That's neat. But the problem is it was tied to the last season, so I'm constantly getting like blocked in that zone. I'll be going to do something and it'll be like, oh, you need the season pass. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't buy the fucking season pass because you don't sell it anymore because the season ended. And it's just,
It's the weird combination of, it's like, it's annoying going back and trying to play it because you literally can't, but at the same time, a lot of the way these games operate and keep players in is through the whole fear of missing out thing. So they kind of have to do that.
That's yeah.
It's like finding a balance of like, how do we keep people actively playing so they don't miss stuff, but also don't piss off people that take a break and come back. And you can't. You cannot please everyone.
You can't please everyone. But now I feel like I'm worried that I've been like Stockholm syndromed, where I've played just enough that I'm like, every time they announce an expansion, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to get, hurt again. Let's go.
Oh, hurt me, Bungie, hurt me.
Oh, grapple hooks, yes. Give it
those
to
grapple hooks look fucking sick though.
They did look sick though.
It's like, oh, they're green as well. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'm ready to check out grapple hooks. I don't think I want to get crazy into it now like you are, but maybe I'll check out grapple hooks. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, what have you been playing?
Well, I mean, I guess I'll start with I'm still very much on the World of Warcraft train.
Yeah, I've seen you playing that a
Um,
lot.
Yeah, that I don't think that's going to slow down. It might do, because I played it so much that I've almost leveled up a character to max. It's 4 levels off now,
It's
despite the fact that I already have a maxed character.
because Lich King isn't out yet, is it? It's
No,
like,
the pre-patch is now out. The event for the pre-patch is out Wednesday.
very quickly, what is pre-patch?
This is the big one, isn't it, as well?
What is pre-patch for
potentially.
Lich? I don't remember that.
Oh, pre-patch for Lich King. All I remember was they had Ret Paladins with their new Divine Storm ability that was holy, and they were one-shotting people back.
So they've already
They've
already
fun.
fixed that by making it
I
so that
know.
Divine Storm isn't holy.
But that was the good pre-patch. Where it's like Paladins were just
God, that was the
mowing
good
people down.
pre-patch where one class got to play the game and the other 11 didn't.
Am I? Am I?
All right,
like,
you guys instantly went into the weeds on this one. What's in the pre-patch? What's the
Like,
headline?
I don't know. I never played Wrath back in the day. That's why I'm looking forward to it.
even if it was broken, am I in the wrong for thinking that it should be exactly the way it was if you're doing classic, and it should be broken again?
It was broken for like a couple days, and then they fixed it, so it wasn't like the whole of pre-patch.
They should that's such a good opportunity though for just almost like even just the memes to be like, remember when this was broken for 2 days when Wrath came out before? We're doing the same again. This shit's gonna be busted for 2 days.
I just remember at the, there were so many classes that were broken and they left them up for like weeks. And I remember Shadow Priests, like the first day of Nax, they were like, oh, they're broken, fixed within like 30 minutes. Like, poor Shadow Priests, they didn't get a chance to shine at all, and no one plays Shadow Priests. So,
because I'm of the mindset that like a classic version of the game should follow the original, almost like patch for patch with time durations.
I don't know. I'd rather they fix more obnoxious stuff.
Yeah,
but then that's just an arbitrary line. What I
it's a personal line because it's. The thing is they have changed things, and the whole reason I've enjoyed leveling is because it's coming up to the end of TBC. They've just gone, just have a 50% EXP buff.
That's cool. And
obviously that wasn't in Classic, but that's made the game so fucking enjoyable.
Yeah,
because back in the day, you had to like do a couple of quests, go to a different zone, do a couple of quests, go to a different zone, do a couple of quests, go back to the first zone. Now you can do a new couple of quests, and now it's like I can actually do stuff and be like, I want to finish this zone.
Yeah,
and you get to finish,
and you're not blocked by leveling. Yeah.
I have not once had to kill mobs for EXP because I'm not high enough level to accept a quest.
Oh, you're pure quest XP then, basically. Just
yeah, and everything was doubled, which is even better because it made quests so important that I was playing with a friend again. Always makes things better. I can't stress how much just playing with someone else is just better than playing on your own in a multiplayer game. We did dungeons early, because it's nice to get that like little gear boost early on. And then for about 45 levels, didn't do a single dungeon.
Oh.
Which in World of Warcraft, normally it's like, okay, we've hit the level to do the next dungeon. You do the next dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just really cool to play it that way. And I'm enjoying it. But yeah, that's just kind of ongoing.
The Sam update for Classic WoW.
Yeah, it's just really fun to play when they fix the EXP rates. Also, I have to mention one thing. Drop quests are still shit. we both got a quest, and obviously because the mob will only drop one item for one of you, so you essentially have to kill twice as many. We had a quest to get 30 skulls, and it wasn't a 100% drop rate from human enemies. And I was there like, so we have to kill a minimum of 60.
Yeah.
And now it's not 100% drop rate, so the next best thing I can hope for is like 1 in 2, so we have to kill 120. And it's like, oh my god. But
it's the whole killing boars thing from that South Park episode. Like
mate, it is.
Raptors in the Barrens. That's the one I always remember.
Fucking
raptor heads. How can they not drop their own head?
There was one. There was one in the Barrens or somewhere for like something's intestines. And that wasn't a 100% drop. And it's like the head. It's like, you have intestines. Where are they?
What is going on? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, whenever someone says like, oh man, classic WoW was when WoW was at its best, is like thinking of that like 1% time when they were like playing with friends or doing dungeons or raids and forgetting 99% of everything else.
Yeah.
But then I think that's just WoW in general, because I think retail is the same. Retail leveling is so easy now, you don't even think about it, but you still spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
It's just you're like, cool, I'm level capped now. I've spent like 12 hours. I have nothing to show for it because nothing's left an impact on me,
Or retail just wants to get you up to max level so you can get into the routine of the daily grind and get stuck doing that, because that's where you start building the habit of like playing every day.
Well, with the last expansion for WoW changed the leveling, so now you basically pick one of the previous expansions and level.
Yes,
you can basically exclusively just do one expansion. So it is so much better than just doing like part of this one, now part of this one, now part of this one. It's just you basically just do one whole expansion's worth of content and then the current expansion.
Yeah, it used to be. I remember in retail, you used to have to go through all the expansions, but you'd level up so quickly. So you'd start doing like the Panda one, And it's like, welcome to Pandaland. Oh my god, there's a big enemy over there. And yeah, move on, leave this place. Go next.
Yeah,
one.
you get through half of the first zone, and
Oh
then
my
you're already
God.
done.
Now
Yeah,
there's time
yeah.
traveling orcs. Oh my god, one of the 6 of them is over there. And yeah, move on. We're done here.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm done. Well, not done with WoW. I'm done speaking about WoW. It's fun, but it's still definitely like, shit at the same time. You know?
That's WoW.
I can't. Yeah. Yeah.
It's painful seeing my friend go through this.
Played, so again, a game I've spoken about recently, but I'm doing something new, is StarCraft 2.
Oh yeah.
And I bring up the modding thing you were talking about earlier, because one of the YouTube guys that I watch commissioned a ton of like StarCraft 2 arcade modders, and they made a campaign mod, like database, I guess. They made like a mod manager for the campaign, so that it's now they made their own accessible version of it, so other people can freely create their own campaigns in StarCraft 2.
Right.
So like they can alter missions, make it harder, like just make their own maps, stuff like that. Like just they can't really do like cutscenes and stuff like that. You know, that's
what's it called? So I can find something. What is this called? I found something called Custom Campaign Manager from Giant
Giant Grunt Games. Yeah,
okay.
And yeah, I'm starting to play through just because there's some wacky ones. Like there's one where it's every time you complete a main or side objective, you unlock an unlock. So you could unlock a unit, or you could unlock an upgrade for a unit that you haven't got yet. But then by the end of it, you have every unit and every upgrade, so you're like really strong. But you've got to play the game like, oh, I guess I've only got the Hellion for the first 3 missions. I hope there's no air units.
That's really cool.
And it's like, but it enables people to do that, and then they can up the difficulty, because like brutal is hard, but once you're at that skill level, brutal becomes easy again. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really cool that because StarCraft 2 had a modding scene and stuff, but it's like it's not easy to use.
They were very restricted in StarCraft 2 compared to previous games they did. I remember back when I used to play it a whole lot. A lot of the conversation was, for God's sake, Blizzard, why is everything so closed off? Like, when it was so open before.
But because of this, StarCraft 2 has kind of like gained a little bit of life again in like the arcade scene and stuff. Yeah. Like there's a lot more players. Like before, like I'm having no queues for doing co-op commander and stuff like that now. Whereas before I could have up to like 10-minute queue because there's just not enough players, unfortunately.
Oh, Sam, I'll play StarCraft with you.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm happy to play StarCraft 2. I love that. I love that game.
I love that
the co-op commander is chef's kiss.
I love that we live in a world where you can commission modders just to make you know, like art like, aside and bits like that. It's just like, you just make a whole like thing for me in StarCraft 2. I'll pay you.
It's like a bunch of bored influencers will just like revive my favorite game.
It's, like, it's not like this guy's like a huge influencer, but his entire content is StarCraft 2. He loves StarCraft 2. And he's almost single-handedly, like, not revived it, but given it at least a little bit of life. And the software that he commissioned is all free to use. It's not like he's gone, it's for me.
That would be kind of funny,
though. I've made it so that everyone can use it. And obviously now, like, his whole thing is doing playthroughs of that. So he's getting his content out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's done it for no reason. But it's still fantastic, and it's really fun to play. There's no RTS still like StarCraft 2.
No,
I was going to say that. Yeah, I miss being really excited for an RTS. You know,
I've not properly touched the genre since StarCraft 2.
Yeah,
and that's really sad because I used to a lot of my for the longest time. This was my game. You know, this was This
Yeah.
was what you would
The
play.
funniest thing
after uni.
is Warcraft 3 Reforged came out. I mean, whenever it came out, and I was like, cool, this is good. Warcraft 3 was sick. And then you play it and you're like, oh god, I can only like control 8 units at
Yes.
maximum at any one time, and their pathing is awful, and
Yeah.
and then you go play StarCraft 2 and it's like, here's 300 fucking Zerglings, lad, go crazy.
Well,
like
StarCraft 2 did a lot for the genre that a lot of people didn't realise, because for a lot of people, StarCraft 2 was their first proper RTS. Like, you played like Age of Empires and stuff. But for me, at least, my progression was like I played Age of Empires 1 and 2 as like a kid. And then later, I played StarCraft 2, and there's like over a decade of space in between that time.
Yeah.
And you don't realise how much has changed. So when you then, like you say, you go back and play older ones, you're like, why can't I just select everything and move on?
Yeah.
And
it's like, I'll give a shout out to, I think it's Age of Empires 4 is the most recent one.
Yes, yeah.
Which it is a decent RTS, but there's just something about how competitive and fluid StarCraft 2 is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of that is down
It's
to
that Blizzard touch, back when Blizzard touch was a good thing.
Yes, yeah.
Now it's
bad touch.
Stop it.
Blizzard touched my bum. No, sorry.
Oh yeah, I know what I want to say, but it doesn't help the wording. But it's a game that is like it helps you play the game. You know, it wants you to enjoy playing the game, which you don't get as easily anymore. Everything always feels clunky, not smooth, or
I did back in university. I did a few essays on the AI of StarCraft 2, because at the time it was what I was playing and I was just so interested. And it's like doing all the I dove into all the GDC talks and all these different papers about StarCraft 2's AI, and the amount of shit that happens when you just grab, say, like 50 Zerglings and tell them to move somewhere. The amount of like AI that works out all the pathing, all the flocking, like mechanisms and stuff. It is actually insane. And the reason why all the older games didn't do that is I don't think people. It's not that people weren't smart enough, right? It's just there's so much. There's so much not programming, calculations going on in the background. To make sure they don't just all. Just fall over and die and shit themselves.
It's like, I'll have an army, and if I've got 20 melee dudes, like 2 or 3 will start tripping over each other because there's 20 of the buggers. But 90% of that army is like, oh, there's a guy there. Well, I just need to like go right a little bit so I can get to attack this enemy as fast as possible. And it's like, you don't notice stuff like that, but you do once you play other games that don't do it.
I watched a video the other day. It was about Company Heroes 2, which is another fine RTS, but it was about removing the unit cap and what kind of shenanigans you can get up to, basically, if you spawn 1,000 tanks and stuff. And frequently he would build a whole mess of just like 300 tanks, and then he'd be like, okay, go there, and his PC would be like, nope. Like, it would be absolutely fine until he grabbed Control A and then right clicked enemy's base, and the game would just be like, nah, I'm good.
We were talking about.
Are you kidding?
We were talking about it the other week. I can't remember if it was on stream or on the podcast. We were talking about back when Crysis was like, can your computer run Crysis? And there were the videos of people spawning like, back in like 2008 or something. Like,
pillars of barrels.
Here's 1,000 barrels. What happens when I shoot them? And I'm like, what does happen? And the video is just, it freezes for a minute, and it's like, of course. Of course nothing happens, because it can't.
It's not FPS anymore, it's like FPM.
Frames per hour. I think it's just like, he shoots the barrel, and it's just a video of just a frame with a little thing in the corner that says like video sped up 100 times.
Do you miss that from like, I remember like back in like you're playing like N64 and stuff, or like old PS2 games, and everything would blow up, and then your PC, your screen would chug, and it was almost like an extra effect, it was like slow motion. You're like, oh, my PC's dying.
I think I remember the first time, I think it was StarCraft 2, I built like 30 siege tanks, and they all shot the same target, and my computer was like, I don't think I like this.
Those 30 shots landed directly in the middle of your CPU.
Yeah.
I had a friend back in secondary school who had Oblivion on the Xbox 360, and there was a duplication glitch in that game. And he red ringed his Xbox 360 because he spawned like too many wheels of cheese in a house. And then he left the house, and it was like, and for some reason, I think he was playing for a bit, and then one of his other friends was playing and went inside the house, and he was like, "Don't do it!" And it completely red ringed his computer trying to load all these cheeses.
Good times.
You don't get that anymore.
Dear. No.
Probably for the best.
Well, you say that.
Well, you
wasn't
do.
there-
You go play Fallout. Go play Fallout 76.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'll
Wasn't there
crash a
something
police
about that?
plenty.
Wasn't there something like with New World, like during one of the betas, where it was like, oh yeah, it's just infinitely loading memory and can like crash your PC or brick it or something. I'm not sure.
like a
Yeah, but that's
Wasn't
just a
something like
memory leak. That's no fun.
Yeah, it's just like you play the game and you play it for 3 hours, and you're like, "Hang on a
No,
minute, my
wasn't it-
frame rate is
wasn't it
halved."
Wasn't it like something where it was like ruining people's graphics cards or something because it was overheating?
No,
them
you're
or-
right.
I'm-
There was something to do with the login screen.
Something,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hang on, let me.
Because people were stuck in the queue for so long. Yeah.
I'm googling this. Quick.
Anyway.
New World login screen, GPU fire. I think it was just
was
on the
something.
on
There
the
was
login screen
something.
of New World, it was just like destroying people's graphics cards.
Yeah,
So
but it's like
funny.
it's not. I don't want like just a memory leak to kill my PC. I want to spawn a million
Yes.
explosive barrels
Yeah.
and intentionally kill my PC.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I miss.
I had Did you ever play the Star Wars RTS?
Empire at War.
Empire at War, yeah. We used to, me and my
You
cousin,
know it, boy.
me and my cousin on like his old janky PC would do that whole thing where it's like 1,000 Yodas versus like 10,000 stormtroopers, and that would just like brick the PC until you turned it off and on. That's how I want my computer to die. Just weird, yeah, like you say, like weird shit like that.
We used to do that in. Do you ever play Sins of a Solar Empire? We get on and play like 8v8, and it would be like, all right, no one attack. We're just gonna build, no one attack, and then we'd all meet up in the middle for a big fight, and invariably like half of us would just crash out because PCs couldn't handle
Yeah, that's how you declare the winner. It's literally pay to win.
It's the last PC standing. Yeah.
Whoever has the best gear wins. Oh, good times. All right, we'll move on to some news then.
Right.
We'll go from there.
Yeah.
On the topic of Blizzard, actually, moving directly on to the first story of the week.
Here we go.
This is the big one of the week, or one of the big ones. Diablo Immortal Wales face massive orb debt after third-party refunds. So, before I get into this, has everyone here read this? Does everyone know what this is about?
I know roughly
No.
what it's about.
I've got the gist.
You can guess. So basically, what's happened is there's all this stuff in Diablo Immortal, which, for reference for people, this is the mobile game. You have all the
That's
crests
also on PC.
Yeah, legendary crests, this, that, and the other. That was how you did. That was all the controversy before, was about all these like crests. But ultimately, the premium currency used in the game to buy all that stuff are orbs. Very exciting, big purple orbs, and you buy them in game for bundles, this, that, and the other. But as most people are probably aware, there are grey markets. You can buy game keys and currencies and things on other websites for cheaper. Because typically that website will buy them in bulk, or sometimes if they're really shady, they'll straight up steal people's cards to buy them.
Yeah, they'll use stolen credit
They'll
cards.
stolen cards, yeah. But long story short, a whole bunch of players have purchased orbs through these websites, and Blizzard have basically kind of taxed their account and said all these orbs that you have purchased not through us are void. So you purchased 50,000 orbs on this grey website, and you've gone into the game and you spent them, so now you're down to 0 orbs. These people have logged in to their accounts saying they have, like, say, negative 50,000 orbs. They are in debt to the game for orbs. And they are straight up, they are locked out of stuff, or out of playing most of the game until they pay back their debt. And
with real currency.
So you have to buy, say, again, for that example that I made up, you have to buy 50,000 orbs through the in-game shop before you have paid your debt and you can play the game again.
Yeah.
Some people's orb balance is actually insane. The one that's making the rounds for this story is a
Is
guy.
that 2 million?
There's one specific player is in debt 2,491,025
God.
orbs, equaling roughly 31,000 Great British pounds worth of balance.
Apparently though, it's also some people are saying that if they don't pay their balance off within a certain time, their accounts are going to be deleted. And stuff.
Yeah. So it's happened in the past on this game or the other games, but not to this scale. But yeah, it's not confirmed, but people are saying that if it's just not paid off at a certain point, your account's just being removed.
But my question is, these dodgy websites are dodgy, of course.
Yeah.
But how are they letting people get premium? What in Diablo is letting people get premium currency via different websites? Like, what stupid system of Blizzard have they done that allows people to purchase orbs via third parties?
It's like different. Though it's either game time cards,
Yes,
or it will be giving their login details to another person who will then go on use the stolen card to buy.
I assume it's like how you can go to the supermarket and buy a £20 voucher for Steam. It's like it's another avenue for Steam to make a cut of money from like opportunist sales. So say like Diablo do it this way, they can sell time cards. So if people are out and about somewhere else and they say, yeah, I do want to buy 20 quid's worth of orbs whilst I'm doing my weekly shop somewhere, they'll get that time card.
Yeah. Well, I was just checking to see if I could buy Diablo Immortal orb cards on Amazon because I was going to send one to Steve.
Yeah, he's massively in debt. He needs it.
You can't. Yeah. But help bundle Steve out of orb debt.
Maybe you could. I haven't bought anything on Diablo. I played it for like 10 minutes and then uninstalled basically. But yeah, if you want to still give me money, you can go to my Twitch and donate.
No, don't shill in the middle of the fucking podcast. That's not what this is for.
Too bad.
September
though.
The ironic part of the balance that is owed. So this guy, for example, owes £31,000 worth of in-game currency. That's probably not what he paid the first time round. Because obviously that's how much the orbs are worth via the in-game shop, right?
Blizzard, yeah.
Whereas if he got them, say, online for half price, he spent 15 grand, still stupid amount, but whatever, 15 grand on orbs, but now has to pay 30 grand to save his account.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think there was certain Reddit threads I was reading where a lot of these players are just like, I'm done. Like, I'm not paying 30 grand to save my account and just cut your losses and just call it a day.
I was going to say,
good for them.
Just try and refund all of your purchases that you have spent and then bail.
Oh, there's no way they'll get refunded for the original purchase, surely.
Yeah.
No, they won't for buying from third party, but if they bought anything through Blizzard officially, if you're going to drop it, you may as well try and refund what you can.
They'll refund it and go, okay, yeah, we've accepted your refund and we put it against your debt.
Oh god, it's so dystopian.
So it's like you say, they're trying to get out and cut their losses. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll do that. You now owe us 2,300,000 orbs instead of 2,500,000.
How long till they get sent to the orb mines to work off their
How did you get in the orb mines?
The thing is,
goddamn G2A.
It's like I get why they've done this, but it's like I just can't help but think like how dumb is Diablo Immortal in the first place that this can happen?
Well, it's like we were saying, it's the avenues exist for legitimate reasons, but then people will always find ways to do it.
Yeah.
I think this story is just like the players who were buying illegitimate stuff, stinky. Blizzard for having systems that require people basically to do it to keep up, stinky. Everyone is stinky in this story.
That's what I was going to say. You know what this story reminds me of? Mud wrestling.
Because everyone comes out covered in shit.
I'm like watching this and I'm like, this is just distasteful. I don't.
Well, there was
no one's winning here.
you talk about how why are these avenues in place anyway? It reminds me of another story that I think was quite recent. We didn't have it on in the podcasts, but there was a guy releasing his game on Steam. I can't remember what game it was. I'm going off of memory. And Steam have curators. And what this guy was doing is he was, I can't remember what he did specifically, but he found out that a bunch of these curators that request keys to like review your game and get press out early, just straight up take the keys and sell them.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And a lot of these curators have now been shut down. They've been banned from Steam. But this has been going on for years. Where you just get a whole bunch of, we're creators, we have 10 keys to give to the people that help do curators. Okay, thank you very much. And then you just go sell them. And say it's only like 5 or 10 keys or whatever. But if you're doing that for every single game, because you're a well-known curator, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And that's the point I'm trying to make is that's something that exists. It's an avenue intended for good, curating games, help people make good decisions, just completely abused for a quick buck.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think just influencers in general. I have seen over the last couple of days, something that's annoyed me is I've seen people being in Twitter and like they're basically doing paid promotions, but they're not putting hashtag ad, and it's like literally in the law to like clearly mark stuff hashtag ad, especially if you're in the UK. And people are not, and it's like, come on, these big creators should know better, but they always try to skirt around it somehow.
It's one of those things you just it's when you realise it's one of those like cliched sayings where it's like, oh, as you grow up, you realise the world is just a whole bunch of adults just trying to keep things together, just doing what they can. And it's like, again, that's just the whole idea of just hashtag ad. It's all trust-based anyway, and it's just it's the Wild West. People just fucking do what they want, don't they? It's just like
Wild West.
Wiki Wild West. If I don't put hashtag ad, like realistically, is anyone going to stop me? Am I going to get arrested? Probably not. I'm not going to get arrested.
No, if you're one of those, if you're not huge, if you're one of those like
if you're huge,
middle,
there is repercussions.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, but like, if you're not huge,
but say like I went out tomorrow and somebody bought me a Secret Labs chair, and I was like, "Oh, my new Secret Labs chair is great." They're like, "Who's gonna fucking come after me?"
Oh yeah, like you and Steve have just done
100 followers on Twitter.
You and Steve have just done a little Fortnite thing on Twitch. If you hadn't have put hashtag ad in your thing, you're not gonna get like slain for it. It's just it's and I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just just the Wild West. It's just these things just happen.
Yeah, it's crazy how before, like, doing a paid sponsor was like, oh my god, Shill, what, like, everyone hated it whenever there was a paid sponsor.
Yeah.
And then people started to realize, well, if people are doing paid sponsors, that means they're not going to be trying to get as much money out of their audiences. Or that sounds bad, but it's like, they make earning money from big companies instead, which is like, take the money from the big companies, please.
I think we got rappers to thank for that.
Yeah.
Just at some point we realized if you want to pimp Beats by Dre in your music video, at some point it's like go for it. Who cares? Get that bread. Or whatever.
It's just become normalized. Is all it is.
Yeah.
It's like you say. It used to be like, oh my god, why is there a sponsored segment halfway through my YouTube video ingrained in the video? This is gross. But now it's like when everyone does it, it's like, respect the hustle.
But that's the point now where I get bored with it, and I'm like, I respect the creators who really do like mix it up and try to make it at least a little bit interesting, rather than like, here's today's sponsor, Squarespace.
But that's a result of like YouTube being a completely unreliable source of revenue because they can just be like, no, we're going to make sure this video makes no money, and it's like, okay, I guess I don't eat this month, unless I take that Manscaped sponsor or whatever.
It's that, and it's also just, this is mainly in regard to 10 million subs plus, that kind of content. The actual quality of that content is now on such a level that because they can squeeze so much extra little bit of revenue out of it, it allows them to make that quality of content. It's like whenever I watch like if I ever watch like Linus Tech Tips or something, and it's like, this is a YouTube channel that makes out videos 10 minutes long each, but they're actually a company of like 100 people running purely off of like YouTube and stuff like that. And it's by squeezing a little bit here and there, that's how you get those quality of videos. That's just an example, not like pimping that channel, but
pimping for us. If anyone does want to sponsor the podcast, you can reach us in our email at what is it again?
Oh, I don't know. I forgot.
It's linked in the description below.
Manscaped, if you're listening, I could do with a shave.
Yeah, my beard is getting a bit crazy now.
I will shave live on stream.
I will shave Steve.
Could you pay us not to make that not happen?
Yeah, if you don't sponsor, I'm going to shave Steve. But yeah, so pay your taxes, pay your orbs. Don't buy great orbs.
Buy your orbs.
Buy purple orbs. I don't know.
Don't buy illegitimate orbs. Buy organic orbs. Support your local orbs.
Speaking of shit games, Halo Infinite is still falling apart slowly. I'm going to have this running in the background. This is just the September update video.
I had an article appear today while I was at work, just being, why 343 can't be trusted with the Halo franchise.
So
I was like, oh.
Before we dive into this completely, the big things to point out is the discourse around 343 right now is popping off. People are getting really mad towards this company.
Yeah.
You had Fire 343 was like trending on Twitter. Globally, like trending. I'm gonna let you, Will. You summarize. You're the big Halo fan.
Okay,
what has happened?
Not anymore. So this is like, I mean, it's the same shit, different day sort of thing with 343, where they promise something, then don't talk about it, for a really long time, hoping everyone will forget, and then for months and months, and then at some point they'll put out a video saying, "Oops, we're having to push this back." So recently they put out this September update, and in it they said the new season, which has already been going for about 6 months, I believe.
Reminder that
is
season
now
is 3
delayed.
months.
Which was supposed. It's supposed to be on like season 4 by now. Bear in mind. So season 2 has been extended until March of next year.
Insane.
So 2023. That includes pushing back things like campaign co-op online, and custom game browser. Imagine something that you'd think should be in a Halo game at launch. That's now been pushed back again, including split screen co-op, which has been completely cancelled, even though they promised, because they didn't put split screen in 5, and there was such a backlash that they said, "Yeah, we messed up. Split screen co-op is a staple of."
It is a staple. It is a staple of Halo,
of this franchise. Yeah, and it's like I wasn't gonna play split screen co-op Halo, right? But it's just, don't fucking either bite the bullet and say we cannot support this moving forward, or
do it.
Or do it. Yeah, fucking do it. So that's been completely cancelled. And then even worse, footage leaked of somebody getting it to work through a glitch. 4-player co-op split screen on a single Xbox One.
Yeah, a recreatable
whatever
glitch as well. Now. You can just do it.
Yeah, with steps on how to do it at home. So it's like they can do it. They're just, for whatever reason, before, I don't know.
Oh, it's mad.
I guess split screen co-op doesn't sell any skins in their stupid store, so cancelled that. Forge has been delayed again. Custom games have been pushed back again. It's just like, what are they doing? What the fuck is going wrong in that studio where this is the state of things right now?
We spoke about this on your Discord really quickly, but this is, in terms of gaming, this is one of the biggest IPs that exists in the industry. It is Halo.
Backed by the biggest player in this industry. Backed by Microsoft.
There are not many franchises that can have, 3 back-to-back average games and still survive?
And bungling the MCC as well, the Master Chief Collection.
It is insane. It is absolutely baffling. Something in that studio is going horrifically wrong. There will be,
this is all as well. This game was supposed to launch 2020, like a year.
Can you imagine?
And it's like, what even? What were they going to launch?
The
just like a menu
back
screen.
then must have been not even a menu screen. That would have come later. That would have been season 3.
It's just shocking.
people saying #Fire343.
Yes.
What studio would you want to take over then if they did get fired?
I just want them to stop. Like, you know.
I don't care who
Because-
wins. 343
Exactly.
have to fail.
You know that, like, stop it, he's already dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, he's already
just-
dead.
Yeah, it's just like, if you can't be bothered, essentially, if you can't do it, just stop. Just let it die. And then,
Yeah.
you know, 10 years from now, we can think about, let's bring back Halo, because they have no good ideas. They keep talking about how, we're going back to classic Halo. And they've done that. They've tried to do that four times now, and they haven't. And it's like, just stop. You can't do it. Something is seriously wrong in that studio. Just let it die.
help.
I'm gonna answer.
Yeah, get some help. Yeah.
I'm gonna answer Steve's question. I would like to see, working on Halo, Guerrilla Games, makers of Horizon Zero Dawn and Killzone. I think-
I could see it.
Oh,
that would be beautiful. Because Killzone was supposed to be the Halo killer.
Exactly.
Now Halo's killed itself.
we
Let's
come
get
full
Guerrilla
circle.
Games in.
Because Guerrilla Games, I didn't mention it, but I'm still playing Horizon, like slowly. Horizon 2.
Yeah.
The tech they have, it's really good. Horizon 2 looks beautiful. I'd love to see that utilized for like other games.
Yeah.
They worked with Kojima, and they gave Kojima their engine to use for Death Stranding. I'm not sure if you know that. Death Stranding runs on the same engine as Horizon.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So they can work with different projects. They made Killzone, which not the best games in the world, but they were good, and it's been quite a while since they've done that, so I assume they've learned quite a bit. I think that'd be a really cool studio to see.
Okay, I've
work
got
on
one.
it.
I've got one. I want id to make a Halo.
That could be cool. They don't really make games. They make obviously FPSs, but nothing that reminds me of Halo. Maybe like Rage.
But I feel like they could. They at least know how to make a good feeling game. You know.
Yes, yeah.
Mm.
And I feel like I don't want just Halo 3 again, right? I want the kind of Halo which is like, you have to play. This is such a fresh experience. You have to play this sort of thing. Like I felt when I played Halo 1 and Halo 2 and Halo 3
Yeah.
and sort of Reach, but ish. So it's like I don't want another studio to come in and just make Halo
Halo.
again.
No,
I
yeah.
want a new experience.
answer-
And it's like, I kind of thought that's what this open world thing, I thought they were, I was like, oh, open world, that makes sense. If you're on a Halo ring,
Well,
that's such a good
the-
idea.
the
And
re-
they just
The reaction to a modern Halo game should be, this doesn't feel like older Halos, but it's fucking awesome. This game is amazing.
Yeah.
And it should
Yeah.
it should retain a little bit of Halo, but like you say, if it's open world, it should do like cool new, really utilize the open world and do
Yeah.
some really cool stuff. I don't know. Yeah,
Because it used to be Halo would set the trend, right?
Yeah.
It's literally
Yes, 100%.
this it
WoW killer,
modernized
Halo killer.
console shooters.
Yeah.
It was the Halo killer everyone was trying to make. And I feel like at some point they stopped and just started like awkwardly grabbing at all the trends are out there now. There's talk of a battle royale mode coming to this, and it's like, why? Just
Yeah, you're too
why?
late. You're too late.
You missed the boat. Yeah. Same thing with like open world. Like if you're going to do an open world game, it can't be this fucking empty and devoid of like anything interesting. Like
They should.
Yeah.
They should.
Mm.
They should go back a bit, really work out why people loved Halo in the first place, and just focus on just making the utmost best version of that they can. And I think the problem with that is, and it comes back to the conversation we're having, is I don't think 343 are the people to do it. Like, I don't think they can do it. Whether it's a management issue or a talent issue, I imagine it's probably a little bit of both, potentially. It's normally management over talent. You don't hire stupid people. It's normally just mismanaged. But yeah, I'm just at the point with this, with Halo, where I am with Pokemon, where it's like, I really like these franchises. For God's sake, give them to someone else.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I could agree, but I'm still so excited for Scarlet and Violet. Like
I love
other
I love Pokemon, but that game is still being done dirty for the amount of money it
for
makes.
me, the only I'm like the graphics and kind of like the school setting, I'm like, but everything else so far that I've seen, I'm like, so far it's a yes for Pokemon.
Okay, I'm not gonna derail us into Pokemon, but
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it earlier, but the funniest thing about this in general is the idea of a season, being 3 months, and now it's just like, this next shit will just come out somewhere in like 6 months' time. When we were going to have it like a few months ago. It's baffling, and you can see it on the screen. Is the list of what they are releasing, and it's March 7th to June of next year is a gun and a bubble shield and a couple of new maps. And
a gun that is not new. It has been in other Halos.
Well,
I don't understand why they're not just like backing up the dump truck of like older Halo. Like,
and then just down here, in-game reporting. You're going to get that in about a year.
You're going to get that in March next year. So remember those guys that slight you right now, so you can fucking report them next year when they finally add the feature.
Yeah, you'll be able to report the 2 remaining players.
That kid would have grown up by then. He'll be a changed man.
It's changed his ways. Yeah, the way you report right now is their official way to report is you have to record the game yourself and submit it to their customer service on their website, which is like, what the fuck, man? Come on.
At this point, I'm even shocked that 343 have customer service.
There's probably no one on the other end.
I'm
to be honest.
Surprised that 343 is a whole game studio, but I'm surprised that whenever there's like mass disdain for like someone or a studio, that they don't actually replace them. Like Bobby Kotick for Blizzard, like not a single person can like him, right?
Because they know they can write it out. Essentially, it's.
I think the problem is when a lot of the issues, a lot of this is speculation, but if the issues are management based, management is normally stuck in quite deep. They've been there a long time.
Yeah,
they have a lot of connections. They know a lot of people. And it's the same reason why people that are high up that do terrible jobs or terrible things, it's like, why aren't they just instantly fired? It's because they have these like tendrils everywhere.
They have so many connections that it's like, well, you can't fire this person. Yeah, they can't fire this person. It's like there's so many contractors they can fire before they fire, Phil Spencer or whatever.
Like Bobby Kotick, being the man that he is, why is he not fired? Because ultimately, it's the decision.
He owns the company.
He owns the company.
Himself.
And the shareholders above him, which he's still making the money as he is right now.
Yeah.
It's like, why would they? It's
just this like mass disdain. I don't think anyone likes Bobby Kotick right now. And it's like,
he's been shit for a really long time. Like, pretty terrible. But I do think it's like this. The sort of general disenfranchisement of Halo is like, I feel like it's grown to a point where they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to say something. Phil Spencer's going to have to get on a stage at some point and say, here's how we're going to fix Halo, because it's their flagship. Why do I care more about the new Forza than I do Halo?
Well, it's also it's like we're saying, game developers and programmers and artists, they're not stupid people. They are very, very smart people.
Yeah,
and
they know.
Some of them
they're not. You do not get hired into a technical role without being.
But do you think the management who's hiring some of these people are not going to be like, oh, my nephew who can do game development, let's hire him over someone qualified?
Yeah, but again, nepotism aside, that's one person in a team of hundreds. Most people aren't going to be hired because they all relations to the manager. It's not one big family tree.
I mean, there could be some inbreeding. You don't know.
It's not Game of Thrones episode, Steve.
Shame.
But God, what the fuck was I saying? They're smart people. You don't release this not knowing there's going to be backlash.
Yeah.
So, I think it was Will just said it. Maybe it was someone said it about how probably just hoping to ride it out and just be like, look, this is going to get shit. The
problem is they keep messing up.
Yes,
they keep digging that hole, and it's like, I've seen a lot of people getting mad. Obviously, get mad at the state of the game and be critical of the game. Don't get mad at people. It's not their fault.
Yes, yeah. Don't flame an artist on Twitter because they work on Halo. That's not their fault.
Yeah.
No, just flame a different artist, random one who doesn't know even there.
If you're going to flame
I
anyone,
mean,
flame Steve.
you should probably give your nearby artist a bit of a kick up the bum. Get them.
Yeah, that other artist, how dare he? I'm going to take my rage out on you.
Nothing to do with Halo, just artists.
But like, I'll wrap this up. The one thing that I do think about a lot when it's like when you see roadmaps like this, that's lasting until mid next year, right? And the size of 343 and these studios, what are the staff actually doing day to day?
Putting out fires.
Just putting out fires. But it's like, if there's not a lot of content that's being made, you just literally on Reddit half the day.
I just want to play a decent Halo game before I die.
Yeah, it's not happening. Go play Halo 2.
You can play Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's still the better option. It's got more players than Infinite at this point.
Right. Yeah, Halo, sort it out. Move on from this story.
Mm-hmm.
You've then got... Oh, this was quite a cool one. So, you all know about Splitgate. It's the arena shooter with portals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of people say it's good competition to Halo, which is quite interesting. They are officially stopping... Yeah. They're stopping development on Splitgate to move on to their next project.
Wait, it still feels very new though, right?
So it is, yeah. So what happened is it was out for a while, and then I think it went free to play. And the problem with this is you can see it on the screen here. I have given this a read. Basically, it was like a little indie studio that made this like university project. That was then like, oh, by the way, you're now like one of the most popular shooters on Steam for a bit. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And they had to like, become a full studio. And they talk about how they're still building on top of what Splitgate was, which is obviously that small project they started with, whereas they want to just move on to the next iteration of whatever this is and make it with a AAA budget.
Okay.
So it's like, as opposed to, it's like we said, I think either last week or the week before, as opposed to building this PUBG inverted pyramid where it's like spaghetti code on the bottom and then just make this massive thing on top of it. They're just going to go like, okay, no, we have funding, we have this, that, and the other. We're just going to
just going to clean break
just going to clean break, just start again. And I think that's probably quite a good idea. I like the idea of that. I think it's very brave. It's very bold.
Because Splitgate is one of those games where it's fun until but very quickly people got cracked at this game. And don't get me wrong, even though it's not fun to play against, watching people be really good at Splitgate is so satisfying.
It's like going back and watching like Quake, like 1v1s. And people that are cracked, and it's insane. People are just absolutely cracked. But yeah, the last part of this whole speech, it says, "This is a see you soon, not a farewell," which I think is pretty cool.
Nice, that's cool.
So, and I haven't played Splitgate. I've seen a lot about it, but I haven't played it. And now, I don't think I will play it. But I'm excited for what they make next.
That's sort of a weird thing about this, though, is like by putting this message out, surely that's sort of like, people like you who are like, oh, I'll check out Splitgate, and you're like, oh, well, okay, maybe not.
I think what this will do is you'll get a slight bump in players, and then it will taper and start going down until they announce what they're doing next. But again, they might be very vocal about what they make next. If they're very open about it, it'll be...
I think this is good. I think
it's good.
I think pulling the plug is a very hard thing to do. Sometimes you'll just be like, well, if we just keep putting out content, like some people will play it and it will still make some money and you never really go anywhere.
Yeah.
I think pulling the plug and being like, right, we are going to make... we're going to make something now.
Yeah.
I think that could be like some other games could probably take note, like Among Us or Fall Guys, I think could probably be like, oh yeah, we're going to stop on these current ones and make the next one and make them like good.
Yeah.
Like good.
I came away after reading this. I've like quite impressed with the studio. I think this reads really well. and it's really clear in its intentions, as opposed to just like, because they could have just like not said anything and really slowed down production on Splitgate and done this anyway, and people just be like, "Where's all the Splitgate content coming from?" You know, but I think this is really good. So yeah, I did really like this. So yeah, whatever comes next, whether it's like Splitgate 2 or something different, I'll look forward to playing that. Next news story you have. This is Glenn Schofield. So, and this is the reason this Twitter page looks really whack is because this tweet is deleted. So, Glenn Schofield is the director of, I can't remember the studio's name, but it's the people that are making the Callisto Protocol.
Oh, Striking Distance.
Yeah.
What's the Callisto Protocol's Dead Space? But not.
It's the not Dead Space that's coming out. We
not
spoke
Dead Space, Dead Space.
Yeah, we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. Their new trailers, or the Gamescom episode, sorry. I'm going to read his tweet out and see what you make of it. He says, "I only talk about the game during an event. We are working 6 to 7 days a week. Nobody's forcing us. Exhaustion, tired, COVID, but we're working. Bugs, glitches, performance fixes, one last pass-through audio, 12 to 15-hour days. This is gaming. Hard work, lunch, dinner, working. You do it because you love it."
Oh, that's bad. Bad mindset.
That's a bad take.
It's a very bad take.
That's a Twitter L, right? Right, guys? That's a big L.
It's like
The worst part is because of who he is as well. If this was like an actual developer of like 400 followers, I'd be like, you know what, man? Yeah, shoot for your dreams. Fucking go for it. I hope you make it. You know? But when you're in his position, the context is so much different.
Yeah. You can't set the company line as we're doing 12 to 15-hour days as the head of the company.
Exactly.
And we all love it. And, and everyone loves it.
It's all part of our culture. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
So the key problems with this, as you've already stated, the first one being is it doesn't matter if he loves it, whatever. He's the head of the company. He sets the bottom line of what is expected to do work. Even if you're on paper, to work, say, 45 hours a week, if the company expectation is to be doing these stupid 12 to 15-hour days, that's like, it's promotion opportunity out the window.
Yeah.
It's alienation by people that are doing that if you're not doing it. It's just
exactly. Yeah, what if you're sat there putting your normal working hours in and doing a good job, and then your boss is like, we're doing 12 to 15-hour days. That's why you love this industry. You got to be passionate to get in. You're like, I just want to I just want to work on a game. I want to go home with my folks.
I love making games. I also love not working.
Yes.
So the other massive problem with this is the Callisto Protocol isn't out for another 3 months.
Yeah.
So, God knows how long this has been going on for already, but it is guaranteed to happen for a lot longer still for these poor developers. It is insane. It's also baffling as well because you don't work well after that much time working. You literally
you don't.
You basically just shut off, and you're just at work pushing a few buttons, doing nothing.
From my experience now, after being in a normal office job, doing 9-hour days, you get to that like 8th hour, and I am running on fumes. I've made sure I've got the bulk of what I need to do done.
Yes.
So the last hour I can start winding down and just reading emails and stuff, not actually having to produce anything of quality because I haven't got the mental power to do anything.
Yes.
If anyone's ever worked an office job, they'll know about the Friday afternoon. Nothing gets done. All gets pushed till Monday. Kind of stuff that goes on. Yeah.
Well, it varies from person to person, but I've worked out over the years that personally I can do probably about 4 to 5 hours of focused work a day.
Yeah.
Where I'm properly productive, and then after that, it's just like I can still work, but it's like you're not getting anywhere near my best.
So I found when I'm in the office, I'm able to focus for longer.
Yeah.
But that's because when I'm at home, I relax more. So like the next time I'm in the office, I'm able to go harder.
Yeah.
So only having 3 days in for me makes me more productive on those 3 days.
So
But-
I have a question about this. Has he apologized? Has anyone been
he deleted it. So
The tweet was
Yeah, but,
deleted. Let's.
I just went to his Twitter and he's written.
We're not doing that. I promise.
Yeah. So this was. I guess this was. It looks like this was written about 5 hours after your tweet. But he said, "Anyone who knows me and knows how passionate I am about the people I work with. Earlier, I tweeted how proud I was of the effort and the hours the team was putting in. That was wrong. We value passion and creativity, not long hours. I'm sorry to the team for coming across like this."
But has he said oh yeah, we're making sure that they have time off?
No, of course not.
No, of course not.
As-
Because they're mid crunch right now. They gotta get Callisto Protocol ready.
As at Duke 905671131 correctly replied afterwards, Rutro.
But it's like
Shout out to Duke.
This is why I say every game gets delayed, and they should be delayed because crunch is bad. Delay your game at this point. If we know now that your game is being crunched, I expect to see it's been delayed a month or two.
But companies don't have infinite funding either. It's such a beast of our own making, and it just feels completely unsustainable. They have to get this game out, or they will all be fired. And it's and they'll be working on something, or they'll be working on something else. It's
especially after this now, after this fully admitting it, it's you know at least delay it a little bit.
Well, I'm okay. Currently playing Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Horizon Forbidden West. Sorry, I don't know the company profile of what made that. I don't know if they crunched, don't know if it didn't, don't know how it is, whatever. But there's so much stuff in that game. You could cut out half of that stuff and still have a competent game. And I think, end of the day, this is a gaming podcast. We all love gaming. People don't need to suffer to make these products.
Yes. Yeah.
If the game is worse because people aren't suffering to make it, then that's fine. That's my bottom line on it, basically.
Yeah.
Because 12 to 15 hours a day is people eating, sleeping, at work,
rinse repeating.
Yeah.
And if you're the one that's I actually want to just do my contracted hours, everyone's going to give you the stink eye, aren't they?
Yeah. If you're an indie dev working on your own, or you're two people making a game, and that's how you operate, fine. You're making yourself suffer. It's your thing, whatever. But if you're the head of a company with hundreds of people below you that follow your expectation, it's terrible. It is terrible. And I actually believe these people should be held liable for it, because it is awful. People's lives.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And probably a big chunk of these people are going to be fired after the game comes out anyway, because that's the game's industry.
Well, they're all contractors on 0-hour contracts, so they won't be fired. They just won't.
But they'll lose their.
It's the issue as well of some people. You want to stick to the end. You want to see the project through. You want to be properly in the credits. You want to say, I worked on and finished this. And it's almost like Catch-22, because that's typically when the horrific crunch starts. So you're in this state of, this is really bad, but I've come this far, might as well see it through to the end. Like you said, it's 3 months away. It's quite a long time. But in the scope of making a game taking, 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I the games industry has it bad, but this often apparently happens with a lot of different vocations, and people do need to start sticking up for themselves and being no, these are my contracted hours. I will put in the amount of work,
but it's not extra. It's not about sticking up for yourself. It's
no, but still, I get that. But I'm just saying, I feel because I've been watching YouTube shorts of there's this woman who does sketches about basically that, and being put in the work. Don't put in the extra work that's not under your contract. You do have rights. You should make sure that you are taking care of yourself first.
Yeah. I think it's just it's a whole other conversation about just unions and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like I don't want to sort of loop around in circles, but it also comes down to what Will said as well, which is just if this is the expectation now, it's almost like a product of our own creation. Where it's like,
because we like I don't think this is different. I think this is different, but we were just getting mad about Halo, the state of Halo, and I think that studio has bigger problems than any kind of crunch culture. But you will see people get mad, like people get insanely mad when games get delayed and content slows down for whatever. Like I
think people are starting to get a bit more understanding about delays now.
Yeah,
though.
I think you're right.
I think transparency is probably key end of the day, because if you come out and said that Halo stuff and then said, I still think even if they were a normal schedule, it's still not enough. But say, just for the sake of the conversation, they said, here's what we're doing, but we value employee time and everyone is working sensible hours. It's like, okay, that's why they're not forcing Fortnite levels of content every week.
Yeah.
So it's maybe just transparency is a bit better there, but I think it does make you think, like, for all the stories you've seen about how, like, oh yeah, this AAA studio doesn't crunch and that's really good, and the industry's moving away from crunch, where it's like, well, clearly there's still a whole bunch of it
but not really.
But not really. It should, like, not working 15-hour days shouldn't be the exception to the rule. That should be how it is. It's tricky.
It's worse in games too, because it feels like taking advantage of people's passions as well. Is the worst part.
That's 100% what it is, and I've seen it worded that way a lot, which is just you pay for it by, if you want this job, if you don't crunch 12 hours, we can very easily find someone that will.
Yeah,
and it won't be hard.
Yeah.
So, bit of a downer, this whole story, but it's important to talk about these things, especially when they come up.
No, you got to talk about
You got to talk about. You can't ignore.
I feel like this happens like once a year. Some guy comes out. Was it like Rockstar or something a little while back?
Rockstar
did
was
the same thing.
Yeah,
where a big company head will be like, we put in 80-hour weeks because we love it, and it's like, come on, man, you must. How do you not see that's a terrible take before you put it up?
I think the fact that they don't immediately realize it's a terrible take that's just how normalized it is.
Is the problem. Yeah.
The fact that this guy can go out on Twitter and proudly say, like, we fucking love it here. All 400 of us work 15 hours a day for 7 days a week.
Yeah.
If they're working 12 to 15 hours a day, 6-7 days a week, his life at that point is in the studio. Ergo, he is surrounded by people all doing the same thing, basically 24/7.
Yeah.
That's why it's okay in his mind, I guess, because everyone around him is doing it. So
I don't know if I told this story before. I literally had I was working at a company, and the CEO stood up and said, we had this like a big company meet, we were all in a big lecture hall, and he stood on the stage and he said, I get all these reports about how everyone is under too much pressure at work right now and everyone's got too much to do. But come 5:30, everyone has left the office. And it's like, what the fuck are you like? How? That makes me mad thinking about him saying that. All these years later, this was like 6 years ago or something, and I still think about that, and I think about how fucking out of touch some of these people are.
Yeah, and he's the kind of person that will go home at 5:30 as well, even after asking everyone to stay.
Well, no, like he even if he stays and works till 9 p.m. I don't care. That's his deal.
Yeah.
But he contracted me 40 hours a week or whatever, 37 hours a week, and that's what I did. It's I'm getting mad now. Just thinking about that.
I think the whole the way the world's gone the last few years with the pandemic and people being home due to furlough or working from home a lot more has made people value their own time a lot more than before. And it's, I hope we don't slowly over time revert back to, this whole thing about being in work all the time, this, that, and the other, because it's important to have clear divides between your work life and your home life.
Yeah.
I like hearing people's stories about how but how shitty companies are, where they're like, oh, you're working from home? We want to make sure that you are like clocked in or whatnot, so they're tracking your entire day just to make sure that you don't go to the bathroom or something. And it's like, companies really do be shit sometimes.
It's tricky because I've heard both good and bad stories in that regard.
I'm sorry, but I've worked with people that they're the type of people which will take every inch
take
that
advantage.
Yeah.
True,
So,
yeah. But I feel like as long as you're doing the expected workload, that should be...
Yeah, but that still has to be monitored to make sure that the expected workload is being done.
True. And I know that in some vocations it's hard to gauge, but it's like, I'm just like... Sometimes some of the stories
comes
you
down
hear...
to like, it's just like trust and respect, isn't it?
Trust and respect, yeah.
That's all it is.
Here's the thing, though. It's like, take video games, for example. If you're working on a project-based thing, which you're not going to know is done until months later, it's like you have to try and keep on top of that, because you can't then find out after 6 months, oh yeah, by the way, like
I understand
didn't work
that, but
for X amount of time.
But some of the times, some of the stories you hear, they're like, everyone's going over the top with it,
I think it's just
as much.
It's never black and white, and it's one of those things where with games in particular, it can be a very trying to think how to word it. It's like it's not always clear when and how a game will be finished. Like, what is a finished game? End of the day, a game is a piece of art, right? It's something you create, and there's not a solid metric at the start of when it will be finished.
It's rough.
Yeah, we'll move on from this one. We got a couple left to go through, but they're quite smallish, so it shouldn't take too long. The last, I got one here, is 2 stories, but it sort of ties into each other. The first one is the next Assassin's Creed has been name dropped. It's called Assassin's Creed Mirage. They're talking more about it at the Ubisoft Forward event, which is on the 10th of September.
This week, for those who are listening.
Yeah, this week. This key art is awesome. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is very Assassin's Creed 1 in from my memory.
It's like cheating, though, isn't it? Assassin's Creed always looks cool.
I was gonna say, I want to I'm not sure. This seems expected for Assassin's Creed for me. I would like to see them go wild and do something totally unexpected.
That's the thing. The issue is recently Assassin's Creed has kind of broken away from the norm, and people don't like that. They want to go back to old Assassin's Creed.
So that's what I've heard. Apparently, that's what they're doing with this one.
Do people not like that? How did Ragnarok do well? No, Valhalla. What was it called? It's one of those.
Valhalla did well, but people didn't like how it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game. That's the common thing,
right? But everyone loves Black Flag, and that was pretty far from an Assassin's Creed game.
I think what happens. I think what's fundamentally happened is I've heard about this new one. Is they're going back to the somewhat stealth route, less RPG mechanics, more stealth, which to me kind of says we've come full circle in that people are now starting to get somewhat bored of the RPG versions of Assassin's Creed. Where just sort of the cycle perpetuates itself, right? It's like you had Assassin's Creed Origin in Egypt, where I was like, oh my god, it's like this cool Egypt world, and now they're like cool new RPG mechanics and stuff like that. And this is different to what they've been doing for ages. And now we've had Odyssey, Valhalla. It's kind of like, okay, mix up again by just going back to where we started.
I guess I do kind of like a series this long in the tooth. They keep changing, sort of maybe not like full genres, but like tweaking the formula sort of thing, like having a fresh take when they make a new one.
I just have a quick question. I thought they were stopping making new Assassin's Creed and were doing was it Unity where they were just going to make it?
So maybe they'll talk about it at the Ubisoft thing, but you are right. It's never confirmed. It's never been officially confirmed. It's always been leaks and stuff, but they are supposedly working on something called Assassin's Creed Infinity, which is some kind of overarching Assassin's Creed experience. Games as a service, yeah. So maybe it's a little bit further away than people thought, or maybe this ties into that somehow. You don't know. You just don't know.
But we'll find out more on the 10th, along with a bunch of other Ubisoft game news.
Yeah, but it's also like Will said, like just having key art like this, where he kind of has the Altair hood in this sort of setting. It's basically
And the wrist blade.
the wrist blade, eagle in the background. It's cheating, man. It's not fair.
It's hit all the tick boxes for me. Yeah.
I'm back in secondary school again playing Assassin's Creed 1 on PS3. It's not,
I think that's good.
yeah, I'm excited to see this. I haven't bought Assassin's Creed, I think, since the pirate one. So
I played it.
I've never played
Load
one.
of that Greek one, Odyssey. It's alright.
last story, as is tradition, Steve posted this last minute, so he can talk about it.
Okay, so not this week, but the week after, we're going to have the Tokyo Game Show, and they've announced like the schedule and stuff. But we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
But Konami have said that they are announcing a new game from a series loved around the world, and I thought we could speculate on what this series might be.
Bomberman. I have no idea.
It'll be Bomberman. My mind says, oh, for the love of God, please make something like Metal Gear or Castlevania, but it'll be something shit like Bomberman Pachinko. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good. I would love a new take on a side-scrolling Castlevania. Or would I? I didn't actually like Metroid Dread all that much.
Or did you like Bloodstained Sympathy of the Night?
I did like that game
Because
that's
closer to what you would get out of Castlevania.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. I want Metal Gear Acid 3.
No, you don't. You want it because you want to see the fallout from what would happen if that existed.
I just remembered that. We've been talking a lot about Metal Gear Acid recently, and
I don't know why.
bring back Metal Gear Acid is all I'm saying.
I remember playing Metal Gear Acid on PSP, not really knowing what it was, and then it boots the gameplay where it's this weird tactical card-based Metal Gear game. And I'm like, what the fuck
is so fucking good? Like half XCOM, half card game. Oh fuck yeah! Sign me up,
so
badass.
What do you think, Steve?
I'm gonna guess. Looking at, I just googled what Konami make. I'm gonna guess Castlevania.
Castlevania would be cool. I wouldn't say no to Castlevania.
Yeah, I'm like Bomberman. They've done didn't they do Bomberman recently? And I'm like, that's.
I'm not gonna lie, Bomberman was just the first thing that came to my head. But...
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe.
Weirdly,
Hill,
same here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Castlevania.
What do
you think? Contra.
Contra?
What? They just made a Contra game and everyone hated it.
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did they? Even I'm confused.
I can't remember the name. And I'm
no, but I'm going to go Castlevania for sure.
Well,
I think
what have I
Castlevania
found now?
Contra work the way you want.
What have I found?
God, stop going on these.
Independence Commission 3. Contra. Everything you need to launch, build, and grow your independent career. How does this keep happening to me?
Yeah, I think Castlevania would have gotten a bump from the inclusion in Smash. So, yeah, I'm going to go Contra. No, Castlevania.
Okay, and Sam, are you going for Bomberman?
I'm still going to stick with Bomberman. I genuinely don't think it's beloved enough to actually be Bomberman.
I think that Bomberman is pretty beloved. I would like to see a story
but
game.
It's too cult compared to like Metal Gear Solid and fucking Castlevania.
Yeah, if Bomberman was more popular and not niche, he would have been in Smash. But here we are. He's not in Smash. He's an assist trophy.
But so who was Snake and
Pac-Man is in
Castlevania?
Smash.
Well, yeah.
Pac-Man. No, that's what am I talking about? That's Namco. That's not Konami.
What am I saying?
Atari.
It's Konami. It's going to be Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Going to get a new Yu-Gi-Oh game.
New Master Duel. Master Duel 2.
I stand by that. Konami literally says shit like this to troll people because they're evil. They
got nothing better to do.
It will be a Bomberman pachinko machine, and they'll be like, "What's beloved? We weren't wrong."
What's the best case here? New Metal Gear or new Silent Hill?
Best case for me is anything Silent Hill. I think
Silent Hill would be pretty big, especially after
PT.
PT, yeah.
I could see them putting just not even like necessarily showing anything, just announcing, Silent Hill. Resurrected Silent Hill.
There's
PT edition.
There's been talks of it's in this article as well. There's been talks of like Silent Hill 2 remakes for ages and other Silent Hill properties. Konami have generally been very quiet about stuff for a long time. They own a lot of beloved stuff that they just don't do.
They're just sitting on.
Yeah, or from all we know, they could be making God knows how much stuff using all this. But in terms of what they outwardly talk about, they don't do anything. So anything Silent Hill is a win for me as long as it looks
Stop
good.
putting boobs on the
I
screen,
can't help
Josh.
it. I think I'm just naturally drawn to that image. I don't know why. And that's all the news for the week. So good job, everybody. I thought it was a really good week. There's some good news there.
It was fun.
Look, are you excited for releases though?
I was gonna say, we got anything coming out?
What we got?
We
Steve?
do have stuff coming out. On September 6th, which is the day this podcast is out, we have, for Disney Nuts, we have Disney Dreamlight Valley, which I've seen people going crazy over.
Oh, this is where you make your in-game avatar.
It's Stardew Valley, but you can bang Elsa, I think.
Nice.
Is how it was described to me.
Let it go.
No, people who love Disney are frothing at the mouth for this
Can
game.
I leave now?
No, you can't.
But yeah, so if you're like big into Disney, this seems like one of those like, if you're big into Disney and you just want a game where you like go around and see like Elsa and Stitch and Little Mermaid.
This
and stuff.
screenshot is the target audience. You see that lady there?
Yes.
Wearing the Mickey Mouse is. That is the target audience for this
That
game.
is the target audience. Also on the 6th, we have the full release of Temtem, which I am super excited for. They're releasing the Final Island. It's coming out of early access. It's being on Switch and all the consoles, and yeah, it's going to be great.
Oh, maybe I'll start again. Maybe I'll play that.
Why won't they send me a key?
I'm going to play a fresh playthrough. I do want to do it.
There are Twitch drops, and I'm streaming it on Wednesday morning for a couple of hours just to like get Twitch drops, get people their Twitch drops, and also I've got the Switch version, so I'm going to start fresh on that.
What are the Twitch drops?
I think it's cosmetics, just like 2 cosmetic things. It's nothing super special. It's just like some purple Twitch logo stuff.
Not like a robot Charmander or something then?
No.
Okay.
Also on the 6th, I'm not entirely sure about this one, but Sam might know. We have Re-Legend is coming out, which is
this game's supposed to come out about 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been in early access. I think it's launching.
The best thing is, right, it's got like mixed reviews.
Yeah,
right?
14 mixed reviews.
The game's not even out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Early access.
But
what is this?
This is people just got hype for the initial trailer.
Yeah, well, it got hyped because it was a Square Enix Harvest Moon
Pokemon
monster battler type game, yeah, like Pokemon clone. But it was, I'm trying to remember who the developer was, but the whole reason it was picking up traction was because it had a really big Square Enix lead on it.
Magnus Games Studio, published by 505 Games. That's what I've got here. They've apparently only made this game.
But yeah, this is coming out, so it might be good, probably bad, but we'll have to see.
Well, what else we got?
On September 7th, we have Kaiju, which is a Kaiju dating simulator.
Okay, not googling that. What else we got?
Yeah. On September 8th, we have Steel Rising, which I've seen a lot of stuff about this game, so I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure what it is.
Still riding, not rising. It's talking about horses.
Steel Rising. I've seen like a lot of this game about, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. But
have a quick look. I'll humour this one.
Yeah.
I don't like it when when Steam page has like 5 trailers before screenshots.
Yeah,
don't do that, developers. I don't like that. I'm here for pictures, not trailers.
I'm not entirely sure what this is, but it's I've seen it in some people's like, we're hyped about this list, so...
Is this... okay, that's gameplay. A lot of their pictures are concept art. I don't know about this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't even find it on Steam.
It's all one word.
Oh, it's one word. Why is it one word?
I don't know.
Is that a typo in the Steam listing?
We've got Steve Rising.
And September 8th as well, we've got Hyper Violent, which looks exactly like the original Doom, kind of.
Hyper Violent.
Mm-hmm.
Have a look. I'm going to start vetting these before you bring up the
podcast. Do if you want.
No, I like this.
Oh, this looks like
Boomer shooter.
Like a MS-DOS type of game.
Yeah.
From ye old back
I
in the day.
know we have several people who like those kind of games, so might be good.
Will.
And then
I like a good boomer shooter.
Finally, on September 9th, we have Splatoon 3 on Nintendo Switch, which...
Steve hates this game.
I don't hate it, but I'm just not going to buy it. And Josh is going to rent it. So
I probably will. I was hoping to rent The Last of Us Part 1, and I didn't quite rent it in time because they didn't receive my other game back in time because of the postal strike, which is a bit annoying, but it is what it is. But it means I got a space free, so I'll probably get this instead. And The Last of Us will have to wait a bit longer, which is fine. I've played Last of Us already like twice on 2 different platforms, so I'm excited for this. I won't touch the multiplayer, but I'll play the...
No, touch the multiplayer and get back to us on your thoughts and feelings.
Oh, then I've got to pay Nintendo £4 to play online. And I don't want to out of principle.
Oh my god!
yeah, mate, that's where I'm at.
yeah, I'm swimming in £4. I just don't want Nintendo to have any of it because I think it's.
I didn't want to bring it up, but you did look a little bit heavier. Sorry,
I didn't earn it.
Yeah, they didn't earn it. Yeah, it's like it's not only you pay £4 to play Nintendo online. It's just you pay for the privilege of playing on their shit servers, and it's generally a bad time. It's like I get them £4 and it's like, yeah, but also where's your friend code? And it's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
And that's all the games, right?
That is all the games, yes.
That means we're done for the week. Thank you for listening, everybody. I've had a really good podcast this week. This has been really fun.
I enjoyed it. I enjoy every single week, though.
I found my second wind. I was very sick before we went live. I was like, oh god, I'm good. I
didn't think you'd make it, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, talking about horrific crunch and Halo being bad has given me the energy I need to push forward. As always, thanks for listening, everybody.
Really burned off all the illness.
Yeah, what better way to burn away illness than just rage? Thanks for listening, everybody. As always,
thank you.
Please leave a comment and subscribe. That always helps out. And leave a like as well if you feel like it. Don't feel pressured. You do you. My name is...
And share it, what's about, and...
What's that holy fuck for?
I just got the loudest clap of thunder ever, and you guys all cut out for a second. I think I need to get out of here before my house collapses.
And on this day, Will died.
Yeah, make the most of this podcast. It's Will's final appearance.
F's in chat for Will.
Yeah. We found his body. He looked like a twiglet.
Tell 343 they suck.
My name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks. You can find me on everywhere important: Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. I do encourage you to follow me because I put out dank tweets all the time. Where can we find you, Will, if you're still alive?
I am at Olive_Meister with 2 R's, and I also encourage you to follow Josh.
And Steve.
I am Quikwix. That's Wait, my name QUIKWIX. Yes, but go follow Sam.
Okay, and then Sam.
I'm Sam. Please don't follow me.
Follow him.
Everyone follow Sam. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Goodbye.